This is the Worship Team Training Podcast with your host and training director, Brannon Dempsey. Worship Team Training provides live workshops and online resources to help inspire, create, and transform the leading of worship. Now, here's your host, Brannon Dempsey.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Hello, good morning to you. Hope that you guys are doing well. Brannon Dempsey with Worship Team Training and Worship Team Training University. How are you, folks? Happy Tuesday. This is Terrific Tuesday, and we are back. We've missed you guys. Hey, you know, like everybody's been taking a break for the summer, and we're so glad that we can actually enjoy this July with you. We've been out for about a week, and it's been fun. You see that I got the color of my skin from the burning Texas hot sun and still live to tell about it. And we had this great, beautiful worship leader right here. Shelly Kahn is about to join us. She is ready to go. And we are so glad that you are ready to go. We've missed you guys. Look, we got some things coming up. And we always want to let you guys know to please swipe and invite. Let everybody know what is up as you're watching this live right now, Facebook Live. Thanks so much. Michelle Stokely, what's up? Good to see you. She was one of our past interviewees, just like Shelly, sitting in this hot seat right here. And we've had a lot of fun. Last week, we had Sally Morgenthaler, and that was just incredible. We have some more guests coming up that I want to share with you. So real quick, to let you know who I am and what we do. Hello, Charisse on Periscope, our great Periscope friends, and also welcome to our iTunes broadcast, and also brand new on iHeart. So if you haven't heard the news, yes, set your playlist to iHeartRadio. We are on there right now, and iTunes and also Spreaker. So thank you guys so much. Charisse, so lovely to see you as well. Who am I? My name is Brannon Dempsey, and I'm the CEO and training director of WorshipTeamTraining.com, and also Worship Team Training University, which you can find us at WTTU.co. We are now about, I think, probably 4.5, 5 months live with the university site, and we have a great core group that's growing. If you want to become part of that community, we invite you to go to WTTU.co. You can see the video on top of the Facebook page that we have right there, as well as all the links that you can see on Twitter and everything else. We do exactly what we say, live workshops and mentoring for worship leaders and worship teams. You can check that site out at worshipteamtraining.com. And who are these broadcasts for that you come in? So thanks so much for joining us here on this Tuesday, every Tuesday at 11 a.m. live. And also you can watch the playbacks on Periscope as well. We have a lot of great stuff coming up. I want to encourage you also to follow us, if you haven't already, on Snapchat. Snapchat is where we put a lot of our content on, not every piece of content, but a lot of it. So you can follow with us. I ask you guys questions. We go through some things to think about, just such as this week. This week we were talking about how to raise up young leaders and what can we do also to help overcome failures. So that's going to be a little bit of the focus of our show for today. And I put that up there just right now as far as the links. I also want to show you what's coming up for the rest of our broadcast that we have this week and coming up for next week. You guys are getting this live right now on our Facebook Live. So I'm tweeting this out right now. Our mentoring sessions, if you're not familiar with that, then you have the link right there that I just mentioned of at worshipteamtraining.com. Later on next week, actually in 2 weeks, I am happy to announce, and I got some a little bit of news for you guys. We're going to have Tim Carson do our vocal artistry vocal webinar that got moved to later on at the end of this year. Next year we have a full schedule coming up, so we are putting in none other than Crystal Lewis, who's going to come and give us a vocal webinar in 3 weeks. So we can't wait. Follow the links right now as I'm putting those up on Facebook Live. We can't wait to have Crystal. She's going to be talking about how to develop your voice. So you can't miss that. If you want to see all of our other events and everything else that's going on, please be sure to go to WTTU.co. And as well as one more comment and one more house cleaning thing, Chris Vache is going to be coming on the program this Thursday. So if you want to join this Thursday show, you have to be a member in order to watch, and that's just going to the website that you see right there, Chris Vache, and you'll catch him. Basically, look, this costs you about a latte a month if you want to join WTTU. We make it seriously, ridiculously inexpensive because we care about training and we care about you. So make sure that you sign up today, and let's go ahead and get on with what we're doing. We have our awesome guest right here. Shelly Kahn has joined us for quite a few sessions that we've had for our webinars, and she's been a great friend over the past year. We've been talking back and forth, and so she is going to be talking about her church, where she's from, all that good stuff. So without any further ado, everybody, please welcome Shelly Kahn. How are you today, Shelly?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing great, and I'm just so honored. I mean, we were talking about this before the show. We were both born from the same town, Conroe, Texas.
Go Conroe, Texas.
Yes. So you don't meet too many people nowadays that come from Conroe or that come from the same town.
No. But we don't miss the heat from Texas. So.
I know. So and you guys, you and your husband, and you have 2 girls and 1 boy, right?
We have 3 girls and 1 boy.
I'm
so
sorry.
4 kids.
I was thinking 8 is enough. But so you guys moved to Nebraska. So tell us about your ministry journey, the church that you're at right now in Nebraska, all that good stuff.
So we are originally from Texas. My husband went to Texas A&M, and so went to seminary in Dallas. And so after that, we were in Texas doing ministry. And man, our good friend Lance moved up to Nebraska and said, "Hey, we'd love for you guys to come be on staff here." And we said, "No, what's in Nebraska?"
Yeah.
And so he said, "Well, just come up and visit." So we did. Fell in love with Reality Church. And so we moved up here 6 years ago and love it. My husband is the group's pastor at Reality Church. We both run something called Re-Engage, which was actually started in Watermark in Dallas. It's a marriage discipleship class. So we run that and life groups. And I'm also one of the worship leaders, female worship leaders at the church. So we're busy with 4 kids in ministry.
Yeah.
But we love it. So
that's fantastic. So you and your husband, You've let me know this before the show, too, that you guys are high school sweethearts.
We are.
Awesome stuff. I mean, my wife and I are, too. How long have you both been leading worship together?
So, yes. So I make him come with me. He plays guitar, and he's very good about doing all the tech stuff for me. But yeah, man, when we were 15, he learned how to play the guitar, and he would write these awful, sorry songs. But we would sing them, and people thought they were great. It started off with just being youth leaders.
Yeah. And
people speaking into our lives and encouraging us.
Awesome.
And that went along to, college ministry. And then we were at First Baptist Bryan doing worship there, just over their youth. And it's just been a journey of 25 years of leading worship in all kinds of different varieties. So,
and with our good friend Ross King and Billy Foote. I
had a privilege of making a CD about 2 summers ago, and man, Ross King was on like speed dial, and Billy Foote and Todd Wright. Man, I was just like, what do we do now? They're just great friends who have been with us, for quite the journey, and it's been fun. So
well, it's great to have you here.
Thanks.
I mean, Shelly's been a great friend. We talk back and forth on Instagram and Twitter every now and then, and Shelly also comments on our Facebook page and stuff. And so, we came. Yeah, I mean, it's thank you. It is good stuff. We have folks like you, great folks that come on because we want to hear about the things that you're going through as worship leaders, as worship teams. This week, as I open up today's broadcast, we're talking about how to raise up younger leaders. Also, we're talking about how to overcome failure. Michelle Stokely, who's watching right now, Michelle, what's up? She and I got on Snapchat having a conversation there about the embracing of fear. So if you don't mind, I mean, encouraging younger leaders and embracing fear. It's like the fear of empowering others, the fear of maybe what we've gone through. Those are 2 powerful things. When you hear that, Shelly, those 2 titles, those 2 topics, what goes off in your mind?
Well, the first one would be about 4 years ago, I felt God calling me to make leading worship more of a ministry for me, and Robert coming alongside and helping me as well. And that I was scared to death. I hate speaking. Like, I don't mind singing, but I don't want to speak. I don't want to have to, do transitions and all these different things and share passages. And I don't know enough about the Bible. I mean, there's so many things that I would say, no, God, I can't do that. And I remember January, I believe it was 2015, that God was like, I'm not going to ask you again. Either you surrender to this, and this is going to be who you are and what I've called you to do, or I'm not going to ask again. And you can ask Robert, I came in the door, I was scared to death. I was crying. I was like, I feel like I've got to surrender to, for me, really full-time leading worship, not just at Reality Church, but making it a ministry. And so we did. Robert was awesome and supporting me in that. And I felt like I didn't want to make a CD, but I felt like God was telling me to, and I was scared to death about that as well. I just didn't know anything about it. But we did, and God walked us through that. And I'll never forget the first time I led worship on my own and had to do all the speaking and the transitions in front of 500 people. And I thought, I'm going to die. Like, I'm not going to make it. And I got done and I walked off the stage and I thought, thank you, God. I'm still breathing. I'm still here. I didn't die. I didn't pass out. I didn't say anything stupid. So just the fear of, I think, people, one, judging you. Yeah. And that's not, and I think for me this past couple of years, learning that God's going to get glory and he's going to use you in whatever capacity, whether you're 15 or 40. Yeah. He's got a plan. He's going to use you. Whether you say something stupid or not, he's still going to be honored and glorified and praised. And so I think taking myself personally out, wow. I had to learn how to do that. So
okay, can we camp on that for a second? Because that's just sheer awesomeness. I love that. Dan, who's watching right now, Dan, I love you. He's our chairman at Worship Team Training, and his wife, they've worked with Second Baptist here in Houston. She's been the assistant to Wayne Watson, and we've worked with Wayne on quite a number of projects. And that's the one thing that Jennifer always encouraged me. She also has our education here at Worship Team Training as a board member, and she said to me, Brandon, the whole part of everything about fear is taking the me out of it. And that's what you said. So how did you, Shelley, how did you learn to take the me out of it?
Lots of prayer and lots of studying and reading. But honestly, there are times, just to be very practical, that I am behind the stage and, we're about to go on, and I am praying earnestly that God would show up, that yes, I'm physically on that stage, but that God would be in total control of what I'm saying, what comes out of my mouth. I don't care how much I've studied and what I think I'm going to say or what I think I've prepared I'm going to say, but remove Shelley from the category, from the equation, and only God be in control. And so whatever comes out of my mouth, is from God, not from this is what Shelley thinks she should say today. I don't know. That's just for me. Reading over the lyrics and praying over the service is huge for me. For me to be able to remove myself and it not be about Shelley. That it's about pointing people to Christ, not a Shelley saying that song well, or she said something that was great. That has nothing to do with it. For me, that's the mindset that I go through, I guess.
Awesome. I love that. It's a great word. And I think that's an important concept of what we can do to pass down to the younger leaders that we work with, because I think there is a lot of the fear. And I want to just kind of pause real quick because these two topics that we're talking about are very huge, and we can go on and on. There's a lot of different ways that we can rabbit trail this, but I want to keep it focused. But I do want to ask you guys, Facebook, Periscope, also iTunes, you guys that are listening, what questions do you have regarding this? Just go ahead and type them in, and as they come up, I'll answer them as quick as I can. When we get to this topic about now empowering and helping developing younger leaders, what is it that you guys are doing in your church to help that effort? You said that you mentioned you led worship in a youth group. That's awesome. So can you talk about that too?
Yeah. So we've, currently I don't lead worship for youth. Now it's, the adults, the congregation. But we have some amazing 15-year-olds, 18-year-olds on our worship team that are on the stage with us on Sundays, singing, playing instruments. And man, I am so excited for them because look, we're getting old. I don't think I'll be doing this when I'm 80 and 90. Yeah. But I think, man, I didn't have the wisdom that I have now when I was 15 or 20. And either do they. And so I think just coming alongside them and investing, speaking life into them, entrusting them with, hey, where are you at? I mean, where are you at in your walk? What are you doing? And challenging them is probably, for us, the biggest goal right now is taking those seasoned worship leaders and musicians and saying, hey, you're 15, 18, 20-year-olds. Let's get together. Let's communicate. Let's not only just talk ministry, but let's build relationships. How are you doing? How's family? What's going on in your life? I feel like, honestly, that's where it has to start. Really caring about the other person, not just let's talk ministry or what you could do better at. I think that will come along, but just getting together and eating together and singing just together, I think is so important. I think it has to start with caring and having those relationships. Yeah, so,
I love that. What do you think are some of the roadblocks for younger leaders today? Well,
I think they want to be have it all right now.
Yeah,
I think they want to be at the big churches and be on the big stage, and they don't want to necessarily study and equip themselves. I think that's just one of the areas that I've seen, like, we're busy. We can't study. I'm like, okay, have 4 kids and a husband and a ministry and a mortgage, and then come back and tell me you're busy.
Right.
So maybe that's probably one of the things I've seen. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's no doubt though. I mean, we live in this must have it now generation. I mean, even in guys that have been leading worship for a while, it's this chasing of it's the chasing of the, I must have the bigger church, like what you said. I must be doing this. I must have this kind of guitar or this kind of worship team.
And that's not the point.
No, it's not. So then what is the point, Shelley?
I think to point people to Jesus, and through whatever you say, whatever you're singing, picking songs that are good theology. The point is, whether you have 5 people you're leading or 500, it doesn't matter. The point is that you are pointing those group of people that God has entrusted to you to Jesus, that they would have a moment of awe, that how much God loves them and cares for them, that it's not about you. I think I said that earlier, but it's about Christ. And so,
And so when we talk, like, I mean, okay, Lavana, awesome. Lavana, as one of our watchers here on Facebook, thanks, Lavana. She says, I'm 18 years old, like it's a struggle being the sound system girl and being the activity director for our kids' night. It's a struggle because I'm young and juggling college and everything. She asks this, how can I juggle all of this and still have a good walk with God? Awesome, Lavana, thank you.
That's an awesome question. And here's what I would say. Learn that now, because life is never going to get easier. I would say almost life gets more difficult as you get older, just with time and, things pulling at your time. For me personally, I get up before my kids get up. So my kids get up at 7. I usually get up at 6 o'clock. immediately get coffee and start studying.
Yeah.
That's just what I think it's a discipline.
Mm-hmm.
I have to do that for myself because, as you know, when kids get up
mm-hmm.
or, you have to go to class or whatever, I think you forget throughout the day, like, oh yeah, mm-hmm. what am I really supposed to be focused on? And so I think learning that discipline early on of being in the Word and praying is honestly key. You have to be disciplined enough to do that. Yeah.
It's what I call worship leader hustle.
Yeah.
It really is. It's hustle. It's like, you get tired, you want to quit. Yes. That's when you start giving into fear. That's when you start giving into the, but I feel defeated. So what is it, do you think, or is there anything that you think, Shelley, that blocks us experienced leaders from raising up the younger ones? Is there a disconnect that you find in other seasoned worship leaders, or are there some things that you feel that we can do different to help rise up the younger generations?
I think I know I've caught myself having the attitude, and I've had to correct it, of, well, you're only 18, you're only 20, what do you know? Yeah. Which is awful. Mm-hmm. That's what I said. I had to correct myself because it's not true. Right. They are worship leaders. I don't care how old you are. If God has called you to whatever ministry you're doing, then He's called you to do that, whether you're 18 or 40 or 50 or 60, whatever. So in me, I've had to, correct that. And so I'm not sure if that answered your question.
Yeah, no, it does. Totally, completely.
But we need each other. I feel like, they have the energy and these new ideas where sometimes we can get stuck in our ways, or well, this is what we've always done, so we need the younger generation. We need those 20-year-olds to come and, challenge us. Yeah. As we can challenge them. I think we need each other.
Can you tell us a time maybe when you were able to let go of the reins?
Oh, I think you do it over and over again. I don't think it's a one-time lesson.
Right, exactly.
For me. Anyway, It's just, gosh, I'm trying to think. Like a particular incident. I'm trying to think. I think just how we maybe we're doing some things in the service. Like, we're not going to, actually take up an offering, like little things, like we're going to just do it online. But that's the way we've always done it. And so letting go and just, or, things that I thought, well, we always pray for that particular transition. Well, our pastor was like, well, we don't need to use prayer as transitions. And so there's some things that we've done differently that I thought, why are we doing that? And then when you think about it, you're like, no, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. That's actually a better call. So
what are some of the things that you've seen, fruit speaking wise, that's been a result of you empowering younger generations in your team?
For them?
Right.
We have a girl that's on our worship team. She's 15. And when you get to go up to her and speak with her afterwards, I love getting to just encourage her and speak life into her, because I know she's nervous. And so when she gets off stage, and she's just done an amazing job, just to see their facial expression, I know for me it helps. Like, God was all over that. Amazing job. I think speaking into them is just, I don't know, for me, getting to see her face light up, like, wow, I am doing the right thing. I am, even though I'm scared and I don't want to do this transition, I know that I'm going to be encouraged. I know that I'm not going to get off the stage and, people are going to be like, what were you doing? So it's about passing the mic. I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't have to do all the speaking. There's not I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm not trying to prove myself or my worth. I've found that in Christ. I know He's called me to do this. I'm confident in that. And so it doesn't bother me to to not do any of the speaking or to not do any of the actual leading, just to do harmonies is fine with me. So
awesome. Shelley, that's a tremendous amount of humility that you've shown and transparency. And I know that as the team looks to you for your leadership, that is what they see. So thank you very much for being real with us today and sharing your story.
Yeah, you bet. It's been great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shelley, for being on today.
Thank you.
And guys, we thank you for being a part of what happens here with Worship Team Training, because this is what it's about. Real life conversations like with Shelley, with Sharice, with LaVonna, with many of those that are watching and listening to us. And maybe it is time for you to either pass the mic to somebody else and not to be intimidated and not to let fear cripple you, or maybe it's time for you to take the mic that somebody's passing it on to you. So we are here to help you with those steps, and all you need to do, there's 2 places you can go. We have a mentoring ministry here for you at worshipteamtraining.com/mentoring. You can also go to wttu.co and check out the curriculum that we have and all the articles, the videos, the webinars, the free download books, everything we got. Denise, thank you so much for that. Love that on Facebook Live. We have also a huge amount of Hispanic populations that are coming our way. I'm also happy to announce that we have our devotionals now running on some Spanish radio stations on the East Coast. They're sweeping this way, and we're having more books in Espanol as well coming out. So just to let you guys know, because a lot of you asked that, so I want to be sure by saying this on the air that you're getting this news directly from me, and that yes, it is happening. We're working on it. At the same time, Faith Life Logos Bibles is now carrying our new book, The Journey of a Worship Leader. It's already up, and I'm going to be putting links on that as well. So guys, you are the ones that make, I say y'all like Texas because we are, right, Shelley? But you guys make it happen. And you guys God has used you to become our oxygen. And we thank you so much for the opportunity to serve you and your worship team. So check everything back out. And that's at wttu.co and worshipteamtraining.com. Hey, coming up this Thursday, Chris Vache, Chris from Canada, is going to be bringing it about leadership and raising up younger leaders. I can't wait, and I know you can't wait too. Also, be sure to get the link that I put out just now, Crystal Lewis vocal webinar next week. And then also, we have a premiere of, check this out. You guys ready? Wait for it. The City Harmonic is coming in 2 weeks on Friday. They're going to be here on this show. And then the follow up, we're also right now talking with, let's see, starts with Planet, it rhymes with Shakers. So you got to check that show out as well. We have a lot of new stuff and a lot of fun stuff coming up as well. So guys, thank you so much for making Worship Team Training and Worship Team Training University what it is today. We love you. Have an awesome day in Jesus, and we'll see you back this Thursday and again next Tuesday. Have an awesome day. And also thanks to Shelley. And we'll see you guys back very, very soon. Love you. Bye-bye.
This has been a Worship Team Training broadcast and digital production with your host and training director, Brannon Dempsey. Worship Team Training provides live workshops and online resources to help inspire, create, and transform the leading of worship. We'll see you again right here on worshipteamtraining.com.